Greetings and welcome to the April edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh. I'm John Neiman, your host. I'm the Director of Programming for the Oshkosh COTS program, and welcome to our April edition. As always, I want to start out by thanking our sponsors who make this show possible. And of course, we have COTS. COTS Transitional Housing Program is one of the sponsors of my show. I'm very, very happy that they support the work in our community, being new to Oshkosh. And also then Karen and the staff at the Oshkosh Herald, a great community newspaper that lets you know everything that's going on in our wonderful community. And floral design is by Brian at U Bloom on Witzel. Remember, this is April. April means Easter. April means you want to decorate your house for spring. He has everything in his shop. He's very community minded. He's very, very good. So stop down and see Brian at U Bloom on Witzel. Where can you watch our show? Our crew is so good, I don't even have to say anything, and it's up there. You can see us on Spectrum, Life TV Channel 2. Also go to YouTube and just put Oshkosh Media in, and all the shows will show up, including our show, The Place to Be Oshkosh. Also on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. If you want a schedule of all the shows that are playing on Life TV, just go to Oshkosh Media online and you can get the weekly schedule of all the shows and what time they play. So we're glad that you could be here with us. Wanted to talk a little bit. I ran into one of my interns a week or so ago, my past interns, Tommy, and he was talking to me about where he's interning now, and he's interning for Frankie Muscata at her foundation, which is on Main Street in Oshkosh. And you know, Frankie's logo is Be Kind. You know, she has an effort to stop bullying and an effort to help suicide prevention. Well, they have a new project going on now, and it's called Shoes for Sunshine. So it's a shoe drive, and it's actually taking place. You have plenty of time to contribute. Middle of March till the middle of May. They're collecting all types of shoes. So new shoes, used shoes, tennis shoes, dress shoes, whatever. And those shoes will be donated to 24 underdeveloped countries. So it's another way for Frankie and her foundation to give back, and it's a way for you guys to do some spring cleaning, clean out your closets, and make someone happy. Give someone a pair of shoes, and I think that's why it says Shoes for Sunshine. It makes people feel so good. There's Frankie. There's a little more about her foundation. Check it out on Main Street. Also, one place that you can drop off your shoes is not only Frankie's foundation, you also can drop it off at Rev's Bowling Alley in town, or just contact Frankie for more information. But that really is a good cause that all of us can contribute to. Also wanted to talk a little, I mentioned last time about COTS and our expansion. We did open our women's facility on Harrison Street. So we are open now, taking single women. We can take up to 8 single women on Harrison Street. So if you're interested in more information on that, and remember that we are not an emergency shelter. COTS is a transitional shelter, which helps people with the next step of their life in their program, getting a job, looking for housing, taking care of all of their needs, whether it's physical, spiritual, emotional, and social needs. So that opened. And I also talked about our expanding COTS at 1158 North Kohler. We are renovating the upstairs right now as we speak. And so we have some exciting projects to go on where we can take more residents. So watch for more information on that also. And then I wanted to talk about something I talked about before, the Help for the Homeless Hygiene Drive, which concluded in March. It was a great event. We collected so many items. I have to thank Valley Christian staff and students for their help with the space and the sorting and the volunteers, and also Family Radio, which spearheaded it. A lot of organizations got a lot of hygiene products that day, including the Salvation Army, including Father Cars, and including COTS. We got a lot of products to take home and use, such as laundry, soap, and toiletries and hygiene items. Would not have been possible without those organizations, and of course, without our wonderful community support. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back, and I'll introduce you to my guests for the April edition of The Place to Be, Oshkosh.
It enables all terrestrial life on the planet. This ecosystem below ground is home to a universe of life that goes largely unseen. Just a handful of healthy soil is home to billions of hard-working microbes. By using regenerative farming techniques that increase biodiversity, South Dakota's soil health farmers are growing more than just our food. They're growing life.
Welcome back. It's April, yay! Even though I hear there still might be snow in the forecast, it's April, which does mean spring. I have two lovely ladies with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves because everybody knows me and I mangle up names quite a bit. I have Kathy and Sandy with me. If you guys want to introduce yourself and your title with the program that you're with.
Sure. My name's Kathy Marsh, and I am co-president of the Oshkosh, Wisconsin Chapter of Sleep and Heavenly Peace.
And I'm Sandy DeYoung. I'm also co-president of the local Oshkosh chapter.
Okay, and I want to say it's very exciting. I like to skim through Facebook a lot, and so does my intern, Emily, who I have, and we try to look for interesting projects and guests, and that's where I found your organization. Tell me, how did you hear about, and I love the logo and the t-shirts. Yeah. I think, though it's so cool, SHP, Sleep and Heavenly Peace. Tell me how you got involved.
We, like a typical Wisconsin person, we have a place up north. And we were up north, and a friend's mother was along, and we were playing cards. And I used to teach high school shop. I like the putts and woodwork and do some things. And she said, Kathy, there's this wonderful organization in De Pere. It's called Sleep and Heavenly Peace. They make beds for kids, and you need to look into that. So I got home that Sunday and went online and started investigating, and we're a year and a half in.
So there's chapters.
Correct.
Are they all over the United States?
United States, Canada, Bermuda, and
Mexico?
Puerto Rico, possibly.
So how many are in Wisconsin?
At last count for me, I would say 17, so right now it's probably up to 20.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So tell us, first of all, the name. Sleep in Heavenly Peace.
Yeah. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Luke Mickelson is the founder. Started out in Idaho. And he and his family wanted to help do a service project around Christmas time and find a family in need just outside of Kimberly, Idaho. And they did, and actually they found more than one. And his children and his wife were tossing around when they, wanted to kind of franchise this. Tossed names around, and he got shot down on a couple, and this was the one that stuck.
And that's exactly what I thought of with Silent Night. When I saw it, when I saw the logo and I heard it, and I thought, how cool. Our crew, I have to say, hats off to
That's
Scott.
Luke. Yep. And
his intern, Maddie, because you mentioned his name. So there is the founder, and you said that he came to visit.
Correct. We had last summer, and actually our first true summer, we had some very large builds, huge community involvement, and Luke happened to be in town, and he made sure that he stopped by and met some folks, shook some hands, kissed some babies, and
gave
told
us some great pointers on some of the things we could do better and more efficiently.
Okay.
There he is again. So that was actually at St. Andrew's Lutheran Church.
Oh, okay.
That build, yes. So
now you said it's all volunteer driven.
100% volunteers. Well, it's a nonprofit. It's 501(c)(3).
Okay.
So 100% donations, 100% volunteers. Everything we do.
How do you decide? First of all, there's two areas I wanted to talk about. The volunteers. What does it take to be a volunteer? Like the age and skills. What does it take?
Well, age is, it can, not that I don't want to say varies, different criteria. If you want to sponsor a build and your focus is to have a Boy Scout troop do it, as long as we have a one-on-one adult to a child, we can go down to 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
Okay. In a general public build, 12. but still a guardian available.
Okay.
Yes.
Everything we do in the assembly, it's made for a 12-year-old. So if a 12-year-old can do it, all the assembly, and we are guiding people along as you go. But we have had young kids out there, and we have had 85 and older out there helping us. And so the job could be anything from sanding boards to working a drill, making holes where we're going to assemble with, to stamping them with their branding irons, to you might just stand there and just say, please move this board to this next spot. And so there's something for everyone. Yes.
So was this one of your larger builds?
Correct. This was a 100-bed build. The Oshkosh Elks provided the facility.
Go Elks.
Yep. And this was during Bunks Across America, and we do that the first weekend in September. Oshkosh Area Community Foundation provided us a grant, and that's where this 100 beds came from.
So that's 100 beds worth of lumber. In this particular shot, all the lumber has already been cut, and our safety manager and build supervisor is explaining what's next, how we're going to sand the boards and drill the boards. And so we'll walk you through everything.
So you partner then with certain groups. I take it Lowe's.
Lowe's is our premier national sponsor. I don't think sleep would exist without Lowe's.
Okay.
So they have been fantastic. And as a chapter, when you get started, because everything is, you have nothing. It's like starting your own business. They provide us with a grant, a loan. They want to see what skin you have in the game. They provide us a $4,000 loan, which will purchase the tools you need to build a 10-bed build.
So Sleep has an inventory list. Here's what you need minimally to start building beds. So they set us up for the equipment to start our building.
So you can buy the lumber and the tooling for the 10 beds. If you pay that loan back in 12 months, they will grant you $4,000. So as soon as they know you're vested, you have some help.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's an incentive all around.
Correct.
So you talked about all the different stuff. So someone like me, who people know I am not very handy. I always tell the story. When I was a pastor, my church council did everything. I didn't have to touch anything in the parsonage. But one day, I thought I would change a simple toilet seat. It was stuck. The screws were stuck, so I took a screwdriver and a hammer, and I cracked the bowl. Made a big mess. So that's me. What can I do at your build?
Well, we have, I kind of was saying earlier, there's a job for everybody. So sanding, you don't have to have any skills. In fact, some people come in and they're like, hey, here's what you could do. And I was like, every bed has to be built the same, assembled the same. We can't vary from that. That's sticking with the Sleep in Heavenly Peace. So you may be using just an orbital sander. You may be walking this board. We might just walk this board to the next spot so they can do their job. You might be someone who's just tapping on the tap. And then there'll be some dimples, and the next person's going to drill holes in those dimples. Okay. Probably the more technical part is actually the assembly of the headboard. So they're sanding here, but the assembly of the headboards. But there's a jig that's going in. So and you can't really mess it up. So there's nothing. All of it is anybody can do it, and that's why we invite anybody when we have our community builds, because there's something for everyone to do.
So on the community build day, you're doing all the parts to the puzzle.
Correct.
Yes.
And then when you actually go to the homes or the sites, that's when you're putting them together.
Correct. Assembled on site.
So we bring the beds to the home, and we bring them in the headboards. There's a couple of beds there. We bring in the two headboards, and there's a couple rails on the side, and we have slats that go up the middle. And then we purchase. They get brand new mattress. Get a brand new mattress. We have a fantastic partner in Verlo. And they get a nice mattress, and then the community donates bedding. So they're getting a brand new sheets, and everything's a twin. They're getting brand new sheets, brand new bedding. We have 3 different two quilting clubs right here in Oshkosh.
Which I saw was one Lakeside.
Lakeside's one, and the other one's Project Linus.
Okay.
That's Adam.
Yeah.
And,
so they've been fantastic. Bed in a Bag. There's a Bed in a Bag that's been one of the more popular things, and that's what's nice about that is they like dinosaurs, so I pull dinosaur bedding off there, and that's a Bed in a Bag. The sheets and everything are in there. We go into the house, we assemble the bed, we put the sheets on there, and sometimes we're actually instructing how to make a bed and how to use sheets. So we've got kids, they've never slept in sheets.
Right.
We've got kids that have never had a bed.
Exactly.
Ever. We just delivered one recently. The only furniture in the house was going to be this little guy's bed in the living room. So that's why we do what we do. The backside of our shirt says "No kid sleeps on the floor in our town," and the whole point is to get kids in a bed. They get a good night's sleep. They're hopefully going to go to school. They go to school, hopefully finish their school year.
Right.
They finish their school year. Hopefully they graduate from high school and be productive kids right back here in Oshkosh, and that's why we do
come
it.
back home.
Yeah.
So on the board, our crew has what you need, what you're looking for. So you're looking for twin size bedding, sheet sets, comforters, blankets, mattress protectors, and pillows. If somebody wants to donate this, should just give you a call?
Contact, probably the best way is on contact through
Either
SHP.
Facebook or call and leave a message. Yeah.
What's not on there are the tie blankets. Those are a hit. Because we make this bed, but what little kid doesn't want to sit around in front of the TV
snuggle.
with a little soft something. So we've had a couple Traeger kids. I know we're one of the groups that Jefferson was huge, bringing us
Bunch of church
the
groups.
kids got together and church groups do it as well and tie the blankets and so try to give those out with their bed deliveries.
So
as
where
well.
do you store all of this?
Right now, we rent 2 storage units because we have to have a place to store all our tools and all the headboards and all the wood and I mean all the bedding as we get bedding needs to go somewhere. So right now we pay for that. So that's we don't have a place to build. So that's been an issue from the start. So we've had some fantastic people from the community step up and say, hey, use my great big garage. We built on a storefront on Main Street through a winter.
So there's another build site.
A friend's warehouse, a friend of ours is a realtor or a real estate developer, and he offered that up when we first got started.
That
And
was fantastic.
again, we probably wouldn't be off the ground without the help of having that site
Without him
to
and
build
his-
in.
yeah.
Do you want to mention him? I mean,
It's Art Dumpy
Art
and his
Dumpy.
partners.
Thank you,
yes.
Art.
very good. I mean, this is your chance.
Yeah.
To thank people and to encourage people who maybe don't know or what to do. Because I would
Right.
think you have so many pieces of the puzzle that have to fit together from building the beds to finding the people to storing. And I know storing is not easy when you have blankets and protectors and pillows and all of that stuff.
It's and after a build, we have 0 room in storage, and then as we deliver beds, we have a little more room, and just we get bedding in, and but we can always use bedding. We can, obviously we can't do any of this without money. So the monetary, it's all monetary. We buy the lumber to build the beds. We buy. We just had a very, very gracious anonymous donor just step up and basically just paid for all of the mattresses that we need for the rest of our build that we have that we're and
Oh my God!
so,
God bless. What?
I spent a lot of time crying.
Yeah,
so.
she cries all the
But
time.
is that not? And I don't know why I should say it's amazing because I'm a pastor by trade. I don't know why I say it's amazing, but it is. You have a need, you pray over it, and the need is filled. And this community that we live in and work in is so very generous when there is a need going on.
People didn't know that. The people didn't even know that we had kids in town that needed a bed, and that our waiting list is always.
It's large right now. So
How do people find out about you, and what are the requirements to get a bed?
So probably the same way you did, or we have flyers at various community service centers throughout the town, or someone else we help told them, hey, you qualify, that kind of thing. Through the
Counselors.
schools, social workers. We have some good.
Love it. I'm just going to stop you because I
Yeah.
love it. It is more than just a bed. You're bringing so many other components into that house. Love, compassion.
Right.
It's amazing. No, sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no. So we, they find out about us, however they get a hold of us, and some people outright call us because they heard that Miss Sandy is giving away beds, right? Otherwise, it is online. It's a very, very easy to navigate website, shpbeds.org, and you can get right to the Oshkosh one.
You could just Google "Sleep in Heavenly Peace"
he's up
and
there.
that'll
He's
get you
got
there.
her.
Yeah, he's got us
Yep.
just listening to
Nice.
you guys talking.
So-
But shpbeds.org.
Yep.
But truly, just Googling "Sleep in Heavenly Peace" and then make sure you scroll through till you get to
Yeah.
Oshkosh.
And
Okay.
request a bed, and you can find your way through there. We do have a bit of a waiting list. We always do, unfortunately. We talked about it a little bit. We are 100% not only donor-driven for money, we are 100% donor-driven with volunteers and delivery team and everything else. And it is a little bit of a logistics to get things going. Many of us still have full-time jobs, and we're doing this after we get home from work at night and things of that nature. But we do our best. And I know sometimes we do have some people that need us, and they can get frustrated. But everybody just needs to understand we do get to you.
But you're right about that, because it goes farther into the homeless continuum that's going on in our community. And people do get frustrated because there's waiting lists for everything, whether it's Salvation Army or St. Vinny's or COTS or anything. And people, you have to understand that the need is there.
Yes.
And that you are doing something about it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about an interesting story. Scott's got to find the picture while I'm talking. There's two. You brand every bed, which I think is really cool and interesting. And then how you stain the, okay, there we go.
There you go.
So there's the branding. So you brand each and every bed.
Each one says SHP, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and that goes on the headboard. And if you deliver like I did once and you do it upside down, it becomes a PH5 bed. But that was a mistake.
You'll always remember it.
So we brand the beds. But what's really cool about these headboards, so that's a headboard that so that stains. So what the stain is and I don't know if you have the bucket with a dipping in it.
Yeah, so that's why I was giving Scott time to find it.
Right
there we go.
So what that is, the stain isn't stain, it's actually vinegar. And it's vinegar that we put in 5-gallon pails with steel wool. And after about 3 weeks or so, the vinegar stains from the steel wool, and then we dump it in this tank, and then it turns the wood brown. And what we also learned, when it's out in the sunshine, it can get really dark.
The steel wool actually rusts. Yeah. It oxidates and rusts, and the rust discolors the acid in the vinegar, eats it.
Are you brushing it on then, or are you
just
dipping
it?
Dip
it.
And then we wipe it down a little bit.
Now tell me what you were talking about before about the bugs and all that.
Okay, so what's cool about the vinegar, not too many people have you ever heard are allergic to vinegar.
No.
So stains might be, paints might be, but with vinegar, any kind of mites or bugs that might be in that wood, we're just going to pull those out as well.
The acidity will kill.
Yeah, so there's nothing we're bringing into the home that is going to be contaminated. For
and
example.
it's a natural stain.
It's a natural stain.
Yes.
To me, that is so cool.
I'll throw in here quick. Mark and Susie from Piggly Wiggly donated every bucket of vinegar we have used on 300 beds.
They've been fantastic.
So they were fantastic.
And they retired, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, Mark and shout out to Piggly Wiggly. They retired, but very community-minded people.
Yep.
But again, it takes, as they say, it takes a village to do things, and I really admire that. Our time is coming down, but let's talk about funding, donating. I know you said the Community Foundation, you got a grant from them. Lowe's helps you out. How can people, if they want to donate, let's go back to online. They can go online. And
yes, they can go online, follow those same prompts through the website, and it'll ask if you want to make a donation. There is a program. Some people aren't comfortable giving $100, $1,000, whatever. There is a monthly one. It is $20 a month, and it's called Bunkheads. So you can become a bunkhead.
I love it.
And then there's also, this is a nice little graph when you get in there. So where does my money go? If I give you $300, what am I actually buying? And this is just a generic breakdown. A mattress is $100. A pillow is $5. It's just giving you some generalized amounts that things cost of where your money is.
So now
going.
what if somebody, and there are people like that, who because I'm one, who wants to write a check or wants to give cash? How would that work?
Well, we prefer them to go right on the site and donate. If they provide us with a check, we send that, and cash, we go and get a check for that, and we send it all in. Everything goes to the headquarters. And right now it goes to Nebraska, actually, and we call that headquarters, and they take care, all the money goes in, and then 10 cents on the dollar goes towards fees such as legal fees. When we have a build, we have insurance for that build. When we have storage, they're insuring our storage area for us. So we're covered that way, so that's where the 10 cents on the dollar. Luke, the man who started this, I believe he only makes $20,000 a year.
That's his salary.
That's his salary. He's the guy that does it all, and he spends a lot of time traveling. But it's all about, there's just an army. We have grant writers, so if you're interested in things. We have a grant writer that they write the grants for us. But, in the community, we can't name them all, and I don't want to forget anybody. But the organizations who have invited us in and who have donated in this community, just fantastic.
Oshkosh has been unbelievable.
Kept us at. We fought and fought and fought for every dollar to make our first bed, and now we're in a position where, we're treading water yet, but we're still, we always need more help, and it's all about getting these kids in a bed.
And you're making an impact.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Oshkosh, and I know are they Oshkoshtonians? Who are we? To those of us from Oshkosh, it's very important that our money stays in Oshkosh.
Yes.
And just to make everybody aware, we only serve 54901, 54902, and 54904. So every ounce of energy, volunteer hours, everything you're doing to help Sleep in Heavenly Peace Oshkosh out is staying right here.
See, and that is the thing with COTS in Oshkosh. Our donors want to help the people in Oshkosh. So sometimes people look at it negatively, but we help Winnebago County.
Right.
That's who we're helping, because like you, the donors are giving it, the donors are here, and that's where they want to see their efforts. Because like you said, there are plenty of people here who need a bed. And the age again for to be able to get a bed?
3 to 17.
3 to 17.
I wanted to add, we kind of have a working number of $250 per bed. So if people are wondering, where the money goes, $250 per bed. And then lumber was a little crazier for the last couple of years.
Oh, yes.
But generally, so if you want to build 10 beds, that's $2,500. You want it to donate to make 20 beds, that's $5,000. So when you wonder where that money's going, if your organization wants to help build beds or donate and sponsor one of our builds, that's where the money's going.
Okay.
So.
And I'm thinking, too, there are a lot of people, too, that they love babies, and they love baby showers, but they don't have any more. So then these groups will do a baby shower. Somebody could do a bedding shower. Some church could do a bedding shower. A group could raise money for beddings or collect all the beddings and then give it to you. So there's so many ways. Our time is winding down, which this has gone fast because these two ladies are charming and wonderful and full of knowledge, which is good. But there's so many ways. So you can always contact the number on the screen, but you also can contact me and I'll pass the information on to them also, because this is truly worthy. And Sleep in Heavenly Peace, it's a gorgeous song. It's a gorgeous mission, and you guys are doing wonderful, wonderful work in our community. One last thing you want to put out there, either use.
It's a year and a half in, and I truly am astounded every day at the response we've gotten here in Oshkosh. It was way beyond what I ever expected.
Thank you, community, for helping us get to the point we are and being a part of this fantastic process. Getting at least 300 kids off the floor so far in the beds.
Delivered, yep.
So.
And I want to say, when we all were wearing masks at that time and people were upset about masks and said, you can't see the people's expression on your face, I could. You can see it in your eyes. You can see the joy and love in your eyes of what you do. And I think that's really great. And I think our audience can see it. And definitely the community can see it because of the work that you're doing. So please, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, a not-for-profit. They can use monetary help, physical help. If you are in need of a bed, please contact them also. That's what this show is about getting the word out on groups like this in our community. Not-for-profits who are out there doing truly wonderful, wonderful things. And you said a year and a half you've been.
Yep.
And how many beds?
We've delivered about 300. We have some new software that got interjected in there, so not exact. We've built about 375.
That to me is just amazing, and what a worthy cause. So if people don't want to give Christmas presents to each other, give the money to this organization. You'll be doing good. I hate to say it, but that ends my April edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh.
Thanks for
I
having me.
really appreciate you guys being with
you.
us. I learned an awful lot. Like I said, I love the logo. Thank you for the gifts you gave me, the T-shirts and that, and the information, which I will spread around. If you have ideas for the show, these two ladies already gave me more ideas for the show of people I can ask. That's the purpose of the show, is to spotlight what's going on in Oshkosh, who needs help in Oshkosh, and the wonderful volunteers that we have. So thank you for being with us. And then stay tuned, and pretty soon will be our May edition of The Place to Be Oshkosh. Thank you.